Everyone thinks the deep ocean holds only natural wonders. They're wrong. Sometimes it hides something else entirely. For over a century, the Atlantic's enigmatic waters have guarded a secret, a profound void left by a colossal vessel and its 306 souls. This wasn't a minor fishing boat, lost in a storm. This was the USS Cyclops, a massive U.S. Navy collier, a ship built to withstand the harshest seas, vanishing without a trace in 1918. Its disappearance remains the single largest non-combat loss of life in U.S. Navy history. No distress call, no wreckage, no bodies. Just an empty expanse where a 542-foot ship, packed with manganese ore, simply ceased to exist. It became the defining mystery of the infamous Bermuda Triangle long before the term was even coined. The year was 1918. The Great War raged across Europe, and America was deeply embroiled. The USS Cyclops, commissioned in 1910, was a vital part of the war effort, transporting coal and supplies to Allied forces. It was a workhorse, a symbol of American industrial might, designed for reliability, not mystery. Under the command of Lieutenant Commander George Worley, the Cyclops departed from Rio de Janeiro on February 16th, bound for Baltimore, Maryland. Its cargo, over 10,000 tons of heavy manganese ore, crucial for steel production. A heavy load, certainly, but well within the ship's capacity. The journey was supposed to be routine. A brief stop in Barbados was planned for March 3rd to refuel and resupply. This stop is where the last verifiable human contact with the Cyclops occurred. Witnesses described nothing out of the ordinary, merely a ship preparing for the final leg of its voyage. On March 4, 1918, the USS Cyclops weighed anchor from Barbados, heading north. It was expected to arrive in Baltimore around March 13th, but the Cyclops never arrived. Days turned into weeks, and the initial concern grew into a frantic search operation, unprecedented for its time. The U.S. Navy launched an exhaustive search across thousands of square miles of ocean. Every ship, every port, every coastal watch station was alerted, yet not a single trace was found. No lifeboats, no debris, no oil slick. It was as if a 19,000-ton steel vessel had simply dissolved into the sea. President Woodrow Wilson himself declared, "Only God and the sea know what happened to the great ship." The official Navy report, released years later, concluded that the cause of the Cyclops' loss was unknown. A chilling admission, especially for the world's most powerful Navy. So what are the theories? One of the earliest and most enduring focuses on the ship's structure. The Cyclops had a single, long keel, which some engineers believed made it prone to hogging and sagging, potentially weakening the hull, especially with a dense cargo like manganese ore. Another theory points to the Cyclops' captain, Lieutenant Commander Worley. He was a controversial figure, born Johann Friedrich Wichmann in Germany, who had legally changed his name. Rumors swirled about his erratic behavior, heavy drinking, and even pro-German sympathies during wartime. Could Worley have deliberately scuttled the ship, delivering its valuable cargo, or even the entire vessel to German U-boats? The timing, during the height of WWI, made this a terrifyingly plausible scenario for many. Yet, no German records ever corroborated such a clandestine operation. Then there are the weather theories. While no major storm was officially reported in the Cyclops' presumed path, localized squalls or rogue waves could have overwhelmed the ship, especially if it was already structurally compromised. The Atlantic, even on a clear day, can be unforgiving. But what about the more exotic explanations, the ones that connect the Cyclops to the wider Bermuda Triangle enigma? Some point to methane hydrates, ice-like formations on the seabed that can destabilize and release massive bubbles of gas. A ship caught in such an eruption could lose buoyancy and sink almost instantly. This sudden loss of buoyancy, without time for a distress call, would explain the lack of wreckage. The ship would simply plunge to the seabed, leaving no trace on the surface. It's a scientifically plausible, if dramatic, explanation for many of the Triangle's disappearances. Other theories venture into the truly speculative: electromagnetic anomalies, time warps, even extraterrestrial interference. The Bermuda Triangle has long been a canvas for such narratives, and the Cyclops, being one of its earliest and most profound mysteries, often features prominently. However, the U.S. Navy maintains that the most likely explanation involves a combination of structural failure and heavy weather, perhaps exacerbated by the heavy, shifting cargo. It's a less sensational conclusion, but one rooted in engineering principles and maritime history. Yet the absence of any debris, any confirmation, leaves a persistent void. For over a century, the families of the 306 men aboard the Cyclops have lived without closure. Their loved ones simply vanished, absorbed by the Atlantic, leaving only questions behind. The USS Cyclops wasn't just a ship. It was a symbol of strength that disappeared at a critical moment in history. Its loss continues to challenge our understanding of the sea, reminding us that even with all our technology, some mysteries remain stubbornly, profoundly unsolved. And perhaps that's the true allure of the Cyclops, not just a missing ship, but a testament to the ocean's enduring power, its capacity to erase, and its silent refusal to give up its deepest secrets. Uncover another historical enigma by watching our deep dive into the Mary Celeste's phantom voyage.